Yes, it's dark. Yes, it's creepy. And yes, we're in the graveyard of a Gothic church.
And if you know anything about our show, you know we only seek out the dead in modern locations.
But it is Halloween. And a 1,000-year-old church in the middle of nowhere kind of works.
Indeed it does. Tonight, though, we want to share some insights and moments from our show you will all soon be watching.
Welcome to Lost Souls. One of our favourite episodes was when we went to the old school. We met a colourful character through the Ouija board, and from there we went down into the tunnels underneath the school.
Yeah, and that's where we met the nurse, Magdalena, and we took our radios down there. They're kind of like old style radios, and we left it on open frequency, and we had all this noise come through when we asked specific questions, which is kind of strange. And then as soon as we asked about her showing us this doorway into the other world, she kind of started to back off, and then all of a sudden our camera light just went out, and we were downstairs in the dark, and
we had a fresh battery on the light.
yes, that's what I want to say. And then we head upstairs to the hall.
We had an open radio, and we got some similar sounds coming through on the radio that we had at the RAF base. And then we also got a weird entity in the background of one of our shots that we didn't even notice until editing.
Can you make another noise in the room whereabouts you are?
It's like he's playing a game.
Do you have to cross through a doorway to get here? Can more of you come through the doorway? Is this the same people from the RAF base? We've come a short distance from the runway. Did you die here?
Were you a nurse?
Are you one of the children still here after they died? Did you also drown in the flood that happened here? So we went down into that car park. That car park is actually now disused because it's prone to flooding, and that's obviously why the girls drowned down there. But while we were down there, we set up a ring of candles, and it was pretty chilly, but it wasn't too bad. And we started doing like a small seance, and all of a sudden the temperature dropped. We could suddenly see our breath. It was a very bizarre feeling to have.
When we were doing the seance downstairs, it felt like something touched my back, which was weird.
Quite high reading as well.
Thank you.
God, I felt like something touched me.
It's like they wanted to watch us.
It was bizarre.
Yeah.
Some of the best activity I think happened on that location.
Imagine that there's a little girl coming from your left.
You said to my left.
Yeah, the lights in the office upstairs have come on. Are there others down here? Is there other spirits here? Are they all here with us now?
Are you all stood around us now?
God, something touched me. That's insane.
Would you say you were murdered here?
Did you make that tear into this world here, to the factory? Did you hear it?
I'm not sure where that came from.
No. I mean, there was nobody else here.
Can you guys hear that up there? I think one of the coolest locations we went to was the quarry and cement plant, where they had huge dump trucks the size of houses, an amazing atmosphere inside the buildings. So we went actually into the plant building. It went down so many floors. It was very, very deep. We made our way all the way down to the bottom.
The whole factory was shut down for us, obviously nothing was on, and then when we were asking some sort of questions, all of a sudden it would just try and like boot up.
From the machinery, it sounded like they kept trying to start up.
Which was weird.
So when we were at the facility, we set up an experiment with a big ring of balloons, and we captured some of the best evidence I think we got, which is a big steel heavy blast door from it being an old munitions warehouse. And it opened and closed by itself. And this couldn't have been by the wind because the door was very heavy and the balloons were dead still.
We didn't expect anything to be able to move that. It was so heavy, we could barely move it. So that was really strange. We went to the facility trying to find a soldier. His name was James. He was actually pronounced dead, but there was a mix-up. They had informed his wife and his family that he had died, and basically his wife killed herself and her children. And once he had heard this news, he then took his own life in this facility and he hanged himself. So we were expecting to reach out to him, but his commanding officer actually came through and we got quite a bit of activity from him. It's kind of as though he felt bad for what had happened. And he actually counted every single one of us in the room when we asked him to, which was so weird.
Yeah, using the EMF ticked once for every person in the room.
I'm sorry, James, but I don't know your wife's name. We never got... Oh my God. Your wife, okay. I'm so sorry about what happened to her and your children. It's devastating. Do you love your wife?
In this Origins episode, you'll see how the rest of the crew and team react to things that happen and all the interviews and what they believe and how they think things happen after death. You'll also see us in our home territory. You'll see me cruising around my house, talking a lot of rubbish probably. And we also went on our first outing together.
Yeah.
It was actually the RAF base, and that was our real first test, which I think you'll see in this episode too.
So basically, we went to a pub in Stilton and we all got together and we wanted to see how, you know, everything would work, how our equipment would work, and just see what the flow would be like. And my first recording on camera for this show was at an art gallery. So if anyone likes art, give me a call.
Personal advertising.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Thanks in advance for watching our adventures. Make sure to check in on social media.
Unfortunately,
Let's find you in this church.
in its sleeping village,
Don't you wait for me.
this will be
Lost Souls.